Welcome. In front of me is a Google Pixel 6, and today I'll share with you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So I'm going to begin with probably the most simple one, which is a dark mode or light mode. I believe by default the device actually comes with dark mode enabled, so if you don't prefer to have this on, you can navigate into the settings, then to display, and simply turn off dark theme. Now additionally there's more options in here. As you can see, you can tap on this, and this will also allow you to set it up as a schedule. So in this way it will turn on and off automatically based on the time, and you can have best of both worlds. So during nighttime you can have dark mode, and during the daytime you can have light mode, which is in my opinion basically the best way to have it set up. Now moving on to the next option, this is a more of a hidden one. So majority of the newer devices have this, unless it's something like a Huawei, which removes that feature altogether, even though it comes embedded with Android. But it's the auto rotate. So by default, when you flip over, and on normal devices it will just kind of flip the screen, but here you can see that it brings this little icon right here. Let me try this again. So you can see it right here. And when you click on it, it will flip the screen to that position, and it will lock it in this position till you press on it again. So you can basically use the device on landscape or portrait mode, and not be restricted to need to fiddle around with the actual. Let me just quickly flip it back. So you don't need to be locked into this annoying thing that you need to flip it through here. That would be amazing. There we go. If this would allow me to actually now flip it. It's weird. There we go. It looks like it bugged out here. But yeah, as you will see right here, we are in auto rotate off. So this will not rotate your phone randomly. For instance, when you're laying in bed and you're trying to use the device sideways, it won't flip it to, well, this landscape mode. It will keep it in portrait if you want to, as long as you don't press on that button. So this is a really nice feature, which I really wish my phone actually had. Now anyway, moving on to the next option, it's going to be the smooth display. It's basically other way of calling a high refresh rate. Now on here, the device does have a 90 Hz refresh rate, which comes enabled by default. So that's really nice for majority of the people that want to utilize this. But there's also people that will probably like to turn it off because they don't either see the difference in it, but what they will see is a difference in battery life. So your battery life will suffer a couple hours, will be cut off from your battery because this is enabled. So if you prefer to have more battery life over the smoother display, you can simply navigate into your settings, then under the display again, scroll down to smooth display and turn it off. Now this will obviously turn off the high refresh rate, making the scrolling and doing anything on the device seem a little bit more choppy, not as battery smooth as it is right now. So obviously pick whichever one you prefer more, smoothness or battery life. And moving on to the next option, it's going to be the live translate, and this simply allows the device to basically translate things on the go. I believe this is based on like whatever the device will be hearing. So things like, for instance, YouTube in different language could be translated. The downside is the device does need to download those languages as it, I guess, tries to use them. So you can find this option in System under Live Translate, and it's enabled, but you'd have to add the languages that you want to actually be able to translate. So you just select right here and download each language that you want to have in the base or database. Now moving on to the next option, it's going to be the gesture. Now by default we do have just the typical gesture navigation, but if you're the type of person that prefers your buttons at the bottom, you can simply enable it through Settings, System, Gestures, and System Navigation. So right here we have the 3-button nav. Once you tap on it, as you can see, it brings back your 3-button navigation. I do prefer my gestures, so I'm gonna stick with this one. And additionally, under gestures right here in the system settings, you have a couple additional gestures right here, not just the navigation. So you have quick tap, which, let's see what it does. So does it allow to actually tap? See, quick tap, take a screenshot. Is that like quick tapping on the back? I mean, it's supposed to take a screenshot, but oh, there we go. That is actually cool. Obviously, this probably is prone to misinterpretation of the quick tap, but that is cool. There's nothing at the back, so you just basically tap the phone, and it detects that it's being tapped, and it does whatever you tell it to do. So we have screenshot, access your digital assistant, play or pause media, see recent apps, show notifications, and open app. This is probably one of the more handy ones where you can set up a application that you will open. So you just kind of choose app that you want to quick launch, basically. So let's see, let me just do something like Chrome right here. And there we go. Now it does look like you need to kind of hit it more in the middle. If you do it a little bit too high, it just doesn't react to it. That doesn't want to do at all. There we go. So yeah, kind of a neat feature. Now obviously, as you've seen, there is a plethora of other options right here. We go back, we have, what is it? Go back. We have things like a flip camera for a selfie. So I believe this means flip phone, not camera. Quick open camera just allows you to, I believe, press power key twice to launch it. If you don't like this, you can turn it off. We have tap to check phone, lift to check phone. Obviously this is enabled, so you can double tap it, it lights up the screen. We can also lift it, does the same thing. Flip to shh. So I believe if someone calls you, or does this actually refer to like do not disturb mode? Oh yeah, this is actually do not disturb mode. So if you flip it onto the screen, it turns on do not disturb mode. That is actually a neat feature, to be honest. So yeah, there is just a whole plethora of things that are actually fairly cool in here that you can mess around with. Anyway, moving on to the next option, and also last option, it's the rules. And again, it's in the settings under system. Let's see if I can find it right here at the bottom, rules. And just a quick version of it, you can see it right here. Rules helps automate changes that you regularly make and settings, such as switching your phone to silent whenever you go to work. So this would, I believe, use things like, for instance, your GPS location, and as an example, also time to, or you would actually set it up. Let's see. Yeah, so we have a couple options. Say do not disturb mode, and yep, we then select Wi-Fi network or location. So if the device connects to a certain Wi-Fi, it will trigger this, or if you access, or if you are in a general location, as an example your work, it will automatically trigger it. So I'm gonna go with something like this. Let me quickly just set it up, although it doesn't really want to load. Okay, good enough. This is not exactly the location, but honestly, it will work. Obviously, you can also make the radius bigger if you want to be safe that it doesn't like miss your workplace. And from there, select confirm. Once you're in this location, it will turn on do not disturb mode. And voila! Now you can add a couple different rules and that work in different ways and do different things, so this is actually really nice. Now anyway, this was the last thing that I wanted to show you, and if you found any of these tweaks helpful in any way, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.